Welcome to the CareerSource Gulf Coast Resume Workshop. Today we are going to discuss how to create and edit your resume to help you land your next job opportunity. This will be a listen, pause, and work format where I will discuss a topic and then prompt you to pause the video to work on what was just discussed. First, we will look at the different types of resumes, and then we'll get into the sections of a resume as well as the information you should include in those sections. Next, we will discuss the Resume Applicant Tracking Systems, or ATS, and how to properly format your resume file before submitting your job application. Last, we will discuss CareerSource Gulf Coast's free resources to help make the resume creation process easier for you. We will recap all that we have discussed at the end. Let's get started. Hiring managers spend an average of 6 seconds skimming a resume. This means that you have 6 seconds to make yourself stand out among the competition. How can you do this? Hiring managers are looking for specific skills and experience for the role they are hiring for. Taking the extra step to make your resume specific to the job you're applying for is a great place to start. This will require more time as you will not be submitting your general resume, but the end results can be far more rewarding. Do you have access to the job posting? Great! Take a moment to review the specific job qualifications and functions that the role requires. Please pause the video here. Based on the job description, can you identify your qualifications? Use these to help build your resume specifically for this job. Here's something else to consider when putting together your resume formatting. Your resume should make a positive impression on the person reading it. To accomplish that, you'll want to make sure that it's professional and easy to read. Here are some guidelines to follow. Keep your resume 1 to 2 pages in length. Ensure the document is aligned to the left with a 1-inch margin. Choose fonts that are professional and easy to read, such as Times New Roman, Verdana, and Calibri. Those are all great choices. Don't forget to proofread your resume. Proofreading is an essential step to the resume writing process that shouldn't be rushed. Resumes should not contain any misspelled words or grammatical errors. Let's take a brief look at the 3 different styles of resumes. A chronological resume format suits people who have an extensive work history that is related to the job for which they are applying, but the chronological resume does not work well for career changers or people who have been out of the workforce for an extended period of time. If you have a lot of work experience in different industries or significant gaps in employment, you may want to consider a functional or combination resume. Functional resumes are ideal for focusing on skills and experience, whereas combination resumes are best suited for helping explain how your skills and experience relate to the job you're applying for. Regardless of the format you've chosen, we're going to take a look at the essential components of the resume. First, your contact information. Your first and last name, email address, and phone number should all be present at the top of your resume. It is important to note here that you need to have a professional and age-appropriate email address. Consider the recipient. If your email address may have come across as immature or offensive, do not use it. Instead, create and use a new email address. If you have an active LinkedIn account, one that is actively being used and one you'd be proud to showcase, consider including the direct link to your account with your contact information. Additionally, if you have examples of your work present on a website, consider including a web address. Do note that this will not be the case for all people, as it only pertains to specific industries such as graphic design, web development, etc. Please take a moment to pause here and add or update your contact information to your resume. The next section of your resume is the summary or overview section. Your summary statement is a brief statement that identifies your qualifications, skills, and accomplishments. This statement should be brief and relevant to the job you're applying for and should connect you to the job position. Please take a moment to pause here and add or update your summary. It is important to have both hard and soft skills when applying for any job. Hard skills are those that are measurable and teachable, like technical skills. Soft skills are those that cannot be measured but make you a good employee, like listening, teamwork, and communication. This section can help you identify your strengths and make your resume stand out. Some individuals like to put this information into a left or right margin. It can also follow the summary section. Considering the job description we mentioned at the beginning of the video, identify a few, but no more than 10, skills that you possess that would make you a good fit for the job. To format this section of your resume, list your skills in bullet point form. Note that you may have to create columns to make this visually appealing and not just a long list. Please take a moment to pause here and work on adding or editing your skills. Moving to the next section of your resume, the Education, Certifications, and Relevant Courses section. We will look to include additional information that shows your qualifications for the role you are applying for. Many positions require a certain level of education, from a high school diploma to various post-secondary degrees. This is all crucial information you will want to include on your resume. This information will need to be listed in chronological order, with the most recent being listed first. Format this section of your resume. Start with the title of the degree or certification you hold. Under the title, list the institution where you received this degree or certification. If it was earned within the past 10 years, include the year it was earned. Otherwise, you do not have to include the year because you should have extensive experience to complement this information. Additionally, if you are still a student or a recent graduate, consider including relevant courses to the job you are applying for. This can show the hiring manager that where you may not have experience yet, you do have formal education on the topic and job duties. Please take a moment to pause here and work on adding or editing your education and certification information. Now let's move on to the experience section of your resume. This is arguably the most important section of your resume as it shows employers your qualification and experience level in relation to the job you are applying for. When considering your previous employment, only include the most recent experience, not exceeding the past 10 years. It is important to highlight your relevant experience, not your entire work history. Hiring managers will be looking to see your previous roles and what you accomplished in those roles, as well as your length of employment. To format this section of your resume, start with the position title in bold font. Under the title, add the name of the organization where you were in that role. Under the name of the organization, add the start year and end year of employment in that role, hyphenating the two dates. If the length of the employment does not extend beyond 1 year, you may include the start and end months. If you are currently employed, you may add the start date hyphenated with the word current. This will show hiring managers that you are still employed but interested in a new opportunity. Under that key information, you need to include 3 to 6 bullet points highlighting key accomplishments made while working in that role. These bullet point statements need to be brief, not exceeding 1 sentence long each. Start each bullet point with a verb, an action you performed. Keep in mind that these need to highlight your accomplishments, but also need to relate to the job you're applying for if possible. Please take a moment to pause here and work on adding or editing your experience. Now that we have worked through your resume, let's discuss how to properly save and format your resume and the applicant tracking system. Many organizations now use what is called an applicant tracking system, or ATS, to filter resumes and access only qualified applicants. ATS software is designed to recognize keywords and phrases that align your resume with the job description. This step helps hiring managers filter out applicants who may not be qualified for the job, lessening the stack of resumes they have to review. Therefore, it is important to tailor your resume to a specific job. Once you have created your resume, save it as a Microsoft Word file or rich text format, or RTF file, as well as in PDF format. The PDF file is what you will want to submit for the job you are applying for. PDF files maintain their integrity and will not alter alignment or formatting before getting in the hands of a hiring manager. Microsoft Word documents may not be so lucky. When you save your resume document, name it your full name, space or dash the job you're applying for, space or dash the name of the company. This helps you track the type of resume you have. Once you have completed your resume, take a step away from it and come back with rested eyes. Review the content, checking for design flaws and grammatical errors. Also check that the content of your resume identifies why you are the ideal candidate for the job you are applying for. If you have a trusted friend, family member, or colleague who would be willing to review your resume, ask them for some feedback. You can also get this assistance and support from your local CareerSource Gulf Coast office. CareerSource Gulf Coast has trained staff on site to help you with your resume, as well as interview preparation. We can also connect you with job leads and job referrals and provide guidance while you are on your job search journey. You can also access a resume builder tool on EmployFlorida.com. This feature allows you to input all the content we have just covered, converting it into a resume format that you can use in the Employ Florida system, or export and send to hiring managers. You may be thinking, what is Employ Florida? Employ Florida is the state's largest job site and is utilized by the CareerSource network. This platform is full of resources and free to use. I highly recommend that you explore Employ Florida during your job search. If you would like more information on Employ Florida and the Resume Builder tool, visit EmployFlorida.com and click on Create a Resume on the home screen. I would like to thank you for spending time with me today as we discussed how to create a resume that will help you land your next job. If you would like to connect with CareerSource Gulf Coast and access our resources, please contact us. To access an editable resume template, please visit our website at careersourcegc.com.